Friday. You already know, decided to hop on top of it with individuals. See what the talk of the town is going down. The word on the curb, you heard me. Let me just set this up real quick. I know it's a later one than usual today, right? But we backed up at work. Work is actually busy today. So I was like, damn, bro, I didn't even know if I was even going to take a lunch. That's how you know you got a lot of work. Let me just move this over here. You already know here in Southern California, it's a beautiful day today. Beautiful sunny day. So our weather's going back to normal. So, I mean, it's windy, but clear sky. So it's a beautiful day. So you already know if you're going to be out there, be aware of your surroundings because it does tend to crack out there on the weekend. Mr. Pizza Crust, hello there. What's cracking like in Derek? You getting yourself into, my boy? That's right, that payday. I feel you. What's up with them Timberwolves? You think they got it this year? You think they got it? You think that they're going to take it all the way? You think they're going to pull it off? Yeah, I heard KD wants to go to the Wolves. Ooh, imagine that, bro. Edwards and KD? Damn, bro. That shit will be no joke. Yeah? I mean, because it's looking pretty tough. I mean, the Thunder looking good. Celtics. Cavaliers. Cavaliers got a pretty sick squad. I think they're underrated. You know, I think they're just as good as the Celtics, you know, but yeah, people always talk about the Celtics more, though. Oh, but then you got the Nuggets, too, bro. Jokic is a beast, bro. That would be doing that shit out there like it's nothing. Like, fuck. Mr. Pasa's definitely up in the casa for the raza. Woo, woo. Did you hear about the old lady that clapped two guys living in her van in Mexico? Nah. Excuse me. Nah, I didn't, bro. That's crazy. But you know what? I know that there is some crazy ones in Mexico, right? Like there was these sisters. I think it was 3 sisters or 4 sisters. And they were actually serial killers, right? I think in their property, they found hundreds of bodies buried in their property. I was like, fuck. They were not playing. And I think I covered a serial killer in Mexico that they barely found recently, of recent times, who was fucking... That shit was some crazy shit, bro. In Mexico. How old was the lady? Like, she was like in her 90s or what? She was like, what? Who said I'm too old for the gunplay? Now they call her La Lefty Gunplay. Hi, brother from India. Hey, shout out to India. Are there a lot of serial killers in Mexico? Actually, there is, believe it or not. But there's actually a lot of serial killers everywhere, though. But America still has the most for some strange reason. I thought you said serial killers kill on their own. I thought you said serial killers kill on their own, not with a group or partners. Well, the sisters helped the sister dispose of the body, but it was one that was actually killing. But you know how, well, you guys were all involved, technically. You get what I mean? So technically it was one sister killing, but the other sisters were helping her get rid of the body. So technically they're, you know, part of it. And I'm assuming because it's their family members, you know, compared to like another stranger. You know, because those relationships never work. You know, there's always conflicts. Take the is this a toy box killer? I think it is the toy box killer, right? Where he was killing with some other guy, but then they got into some beefs. They got into some issues. Their paranoia got the best of them, so their partnership fell apart. They targeted each other. Like she returned to and was renting to other people. So when she got there, they wouldn't move out. Oh, so she moved them out. Hey, I mean, she asked nicely. She was like, "Oh, so y'all think because I'm old that you guys could just not give a fuck about what I'm saying, huh?" Well, I guess she showed them. Oh, she made that loud and clear. Why Trump doesn't like Mexican people? You know what? Here's what it is, bro. It's not that Trump doesn't. It's not that Trump doesn't like Mexican people. See, that's the thing with Trump. Trump is not a racist. That's not how he works, right? He's more about pleasing the audience, right? About the praise. So he realizes that there was a problem at the border, you know? He paid attention enough to know that people have a problem with the border and have a problem with illegals, right? Because it's the shit that they're always bitching about. So that's why he chose that to focus his campaign around that, because he knew that that's what these people wanted to hear. It's not that he actually dislikes these individuals or shit like that. You know, like I said, he only worries about, shit about himself, So he knows that this is what pleases the audience. This is why they're cheering for him. So he ran with that shit, bro. He's milking that shit till there's nothing left. The thing is that now, even though, this is why they voted for him and they're cheering him on, he's doing so much desmadre that now even his own side is like, okay, maybe he's going a little too far now. And now they're turning on him. Right? Now his side is questioning him. And it's like, well, what the fuck did you guys expect, bro? He was not fit to be president, my guy. But see, you guys were just riding the hype train about that border. That you guys realize, fuck, he also has to do other shit. And he's just a hype man. That's what will get the cheers. So he just ran with that, bro. He was fucking milking that shit till there was nothing left. Bro, he even changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, bro. That's how much he was riding that train, bro. And that's not me hating him. I mean, but trust me when I say he's not a racist, because Trump doesn't care about America or the white people. He doesn't. He cares about himself and himself only. You know what I mean? Whatever can benefit him. So if a black person, a Mexican person, or anybody comes with him with a business offer where he can make money, he's taking it. He's doing business with that person. Because it's benefiting him. A real racist wouldn't. So it's not that he actually cares for any of these people. He only cares about what's benefiting him. Because of his grandiosis. Where's the proof? He doesn't even let his other kids come out in pictures. Because, people might, think bad of him because they're not as attractive as his other ones. Think I'm lying? Go look into that. You'll be like, damn, that's fucked up. Telling you, bro. Oh no, how to make ugly kids? Yeah, it's impossible. That's why I'm only gonna feature my two oldest. They actually look the part. I can actually, clean them, happily. A lot of everywhere. I thought they were rare. Oh no, serial killers are not rare. They're not unique. They're not. No, there's been serial killers. There's serial killers in every single country. There's been serial killers like Jeffrey Dahmer, like Ted Bundy, like John Gacy. They are not, unique to them. They are not the only cannibals. They are not the only necrophiliacs. They are not the only ones, who display, psychopath or sociopath tendencies. You know what I mean? That's how they're able to catch them now, right? Because they know how they work. As a matter of fact, Ted Bundy actually helped the FBI catch some serial killers, right? He told them what the serial killers were going to do, where they were going to be at, because he knows, because he was one. And sure enough, when they took his advice, they fucking caught the person. They're like, how the fuck did you know he was going to come back to this place? He's like, because I would, because I did. Like, you know, understanding Ted Bundy helped them understand how these individuals move now, and you know how they're able to pinpoint, you know, their actions and their motives. And that's not like bullshit on their behalf or just luck, because even these individuals have been curious of how the fuck did they know, how they did it, you know, how exactly it went down when they weren't even there, you know, because to them they trip out like, damn, that's exactly how it went down. But how the fuck did you know if you weren't there? It was only me and the victim. That's how good they are at their jobs. And that's how good they know and understand you, your behaviors. Because you're not unique like you think you are. You're not random like you think you are. You know? People have habits to them. Everybody has a profile to them. You just got to find what the profile is, and I'll tell you everything you need to know about an individual. The beauty of psychology. It's what makes it so fascinating. You know, understanding how, you know, they work. It's funny to me how I see killers. The victims hear them and start crying. Well, a lot of these individuals catch the victims unexpectedly. You know what I mean? But yeah, you should never fear a serial killer. You know what I mean? But meaning in the sense that a lot of their victims didn't even see it coming. You know, a lot. Take Ted Bundy for example, right? You know, he wasn't able to attack none of the females when they were looking directly at him. He could only attack them from the back. You know, he said as soon as they turned around, he would get nervous and he wouldn't be able to do it. He wasn't able to do it. You know, he was only able to do it when they had their backs turned to him. And then he would strike them in the back of the head, and you know, that's how he would kidnap them. But he wasn't able to do it once they made eye contact. He wasn't able to. That's crazy, huh? And if you look, you know, he was an individual that went to college. He was very intelligent. You know, his IQ was high. So, you know, that in itself is a trip. You know, when people are like, well, how's that interesting? Like, the fact that as soon as the girl turned around and they made eye contact, he froze. He wasn't able to, you know, like that in itself is fascinating. Like, why would he freeze? Like, you know, like what's the meaning behind that? You know? Because this individual kills people like it's nothing, right? But as soon as now they make eye contact, he's not able to do it for some strange reason. And that's the fascinating part, finding out what that reason is. I'm telling you, humans were programmed it's a trip. You're my favorite gay YouTuber. Oh, thank you, but I'm not gay. I'm actually happily married. I mean, but you could be down with whoever. It's all the same to me. Russian? Oh, shout out to Russia. Trump is just playing politics. Yeah, as simple as that. That was since all in school. Cool as in like cold as fuck. Bro was heartless. Trump is the man. Thank God the border is shut down. Oh, don't get me wrong. Having open borders is not a good idea. It's actually a horrible idea. You cannot have open borders. You would fuck your economy up. You would fuck your country up. This is very true. You know, nobody is saying that his proposals of fixing the problem It's not what's actually the problem. It's the way that he's choosing to handle the situation is the problem, right? Not that he actually wants to fix the immigration and the border problem. Nobody has a problem with that. It's the way that he's going about it. And not because he's deporting criminals and stuff like that. It's because um, financially wise, what he's doing, the United States just doesn't have the money to do this kind of shit. I mean, they could, but then it's going to cripple other parts of your economy and government, like having to get rid of a lot of government workers. A lot of people are losing their fucking jobs because you have to pay for this somehow. So that's somehow meaning that a lot of people are going to have to lose their jobs, unfortunately. But this is what people wanted. You know what I'm saying? Other presidents have deported people, just not at the magnitude of Trump. They deported people at the rate that they knew that they could afford. But Trump doesn't play by those rules. He don't give a fuck. He takes action and then worries about the bills later. And it's like, well, you got to pay for this shit somehow. See, that's the reason why no other president deported, as many people as him, at the rate, because they can't afford it. Because you still have to pay for all of this shit. This shit is still a business. See, but Trump don't give a fuck about that. Now all these people are fucking crying and, are outraged that they're losing their jobs. And it's like, well, what did you expect, though? How did you expect to fucking pay for this? My guy, what do you think people are going to do this shit for free? That shit's expensive, deporting people. It's not cheap. Goofballs. No, seriously, look into it, bro. It's expensive deporting people, bro. It's like that money had to come from somewhere. Like, I don't have an issue with Trump's politics. I have an issue with his character and him as an individual. As a president, to me, he's just as the other presidents, They all sucked. Biden sucked. This one sucked. They all sucked. Well, not all of them. There were some pretty good ones, but a majority of them suck. My whole thing is that America deserved a better president, better than Trump and better than Biden. Like, why are people just choosing and focusing on these two? Fuck these two fools. They're trash. It's not that I'm defending the left or the right. Man, I fuck both sides equally the same. They all sucked. As a matter of fact, see, the thing is that even now his party's now turning on him. The Republicans are now, shit, they voted with the Democrats to fucking veto his tariffs. When you have the Republicans agreeing with the Democrats, then the president's doing something wrong. Shit, I never thought I would see the day, bro. I thought at least until a while that I was going to see these two parties come together, but it seemed that Trump made, the magic happen, bro. He now has Republicans agreeing with Democrats. That's crazy. He has me agreeing with Mitch McConnell, which I never thought would actually happen. So that in itself is mind-blowing. So I was like, what the hell? Can Trump be removed from office if they impeach him? Do I think he needs to be impeached? I don't think he needs to be impeached. I don't think it's gotten to that point yet. You know what I mean? The fucker just got into office. Like I said, I may dislike the individual, but I'm reasonable. I'm not a fucking one of these people that just lets their emotions get the best of them. Like, well, okay, let's not jump the gun. Let's give him some time. Let's give him some time. Maybe who knows? I doubt he'll change, but we should at least give him a little chance. It should have always been the Gulf of America. Well, that's not actually true, though. In recent times, yes, because we patrol that area, and the United States has control of that area. But to say that it has always been like that would be lying. Kind of like saying, like, if California was always California, Arizona, and all that was always a part of America, when that's not true. It's like, y'all have a problem with these individuals being here, but what did you expect when you fucking took this land over and these fools were already here? The fuck? Like that is crazy. Like, so you're telling me that you guys would never see this coming? The fact that these people were already here? So they're not gonna have like family trying to come over here and, trying to visit and shit like that? Like, fuck. Goofballs. But like I said, it's at a convenience that America plays these games, bro. It's not, like I said, and Trump's not the only one, to do these kind of things. It's always it's your turn now, because first, it was let's blame the Italians and the Irish, and then from that, let's blame the Asians when World War II happened, and then let's blame the blacks and let's blame the natives, and then 9/11, so let's blame the Muslims and the Middle Easterns, and now it's the Mexicans' turn. Yes, it's always been the blame game for America, bro. This is not something new, And like I said, Trump wasn't always in office to throw all of that on him, right? So there's been many presidents like him who always choose to target a group of individuals. It's the oldest trick in the book. It's how these radical extremist groups gets people to fucking jump on board to their ideologies. Yes, you make one group of people the focus point where to throw the blame at, and you get a bunch of people to jump on board. It's how Hitler got everybody to see, his perspective against the Jews. Or how ISIS recruits these individuals to kill in the name of Allah. Or how these fucking white supremacist groups get individuals to join their cause. Yeah, blame these guys. Yeah, it always works. People always fall for that shit for some strange reason. It's not something that's new. I got a question. Shoot it. You are a poster child of the brown privilege. Look, America's the greatest country in the world. This is facts. America, you have a lot of rights. You have a lot of freedom. It is one of the best, if not the best. This is very true. Now, just because America's great and stuff like that doesn't mean that it doesn't have issues. It doesn't mean that we should allow people to get away with the shit that they do. You know what I mean? Just because, you have rights like that. It's kind of like saying if you live in a country where women get raped, but they tell them, oh, don't whine about it. In other countries, women get murdered. So you don't have it that bad. So, don't complain. It's like, well, yeah, they're not being murdered, but they're still being raped, so it's still an issue, right? Just like here, bro, there's still issues. It's a great country, but there's still issues. You get what I mean? And the thing is that they want to hold people to standards, right? People have problems with individuals doing, but yet they make excuses for Donald Trump, though. They say how other people break the law and how, hey, they should go target them, like how they were doing to Biden with Hunter and everything like that, rightfully so. But at the same time, Trump has his scandals, but right there is acceptable. Right there, let's excuse it. You get me? Both political parties play the same fucking stupid games. You know what I mean? They defend their golden goose, like the Democrats were doing with Biden, knowing damn well that motherfucker wasn't fit to be president. But just because they didn't want to see the other side win, they're gonna fucking fuck our economy up. That's so childish. Same with the Republicans. They know that Trump ain't fit to be president, but just because they don't want to see the other side, they're willing to fuck our economy and our government up. This shit is crazy. This is no longer a democracy. This is a political party struggle. These parties are fighting for dominance, and we're the ones that are gonna have to pay the price. They're not looking after what's best for the American people or what's best for us. They're looking for what's best for their political party. What could make their party better? And who's the one that's running the show and dominating? This is a power struggle. And it's crazy that people can't see it. If the right comes with good bills, people should, stand with them and be okay to vote on them and accept them. Same if the Democrats would come with some good bills, and they should rightfully be able to do the same. But nowadays you can't, because then you'll be outcast by your party. You could be getting death threats and shit like that. Outcast. Why? Because you chose to agree with the other side? Since when did this become gangs where you're not allowed to do that? This is not a democracy no more. No, you have to pledge your allegiance to one side or the other. Like, what? Kind of a fucking democracy is this? That shit is crazy. And just because people are in their feelings, it's a trip. People be like, oh, you stand for the left or the right? No, trust me, I hate them both the same equally. I see what they fucking do. They don't give a fuck about us. Bro, they care about their party, their jobs, securing their jobs, as a matter of fact. And always keep this in mind. These are just my opinions at the end of the day. You know, I'm not here to convince people of anything, and people could rightfully like whoever they want. You know, I'm not here to convince people not to accept Trump or dislike Trump. You're entitled to like whoever you want. You know, I'm just merely speaking my opinions in my mind. That's all it is. So never let, you know, my opinions ever, you know, get to you, because that's all they are, merely just my opinions. You know, I have homies that like Trump and voted for Trump, and it's all gravy. I'm cool, because it's just politics. It ain't that serious. I don't know why people, you know, be like, fuck this mother. Like, bro, it's just politics, guy. Relax. You know, if they like Trump, that's cool. Up. We can still be homies, bro. We don't gotta agree on everything. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying people gotta think like me or live like me, bro. I can only worry about what I do, how I live. People could live and like and think however they choose. Can serial killers have family? Can have friends, family? Yeah, they could have friends and family, yeah. Was Craig like an angel? Are you still mad at Are you still mad at Mom? Yeah. Your mom, I promise I didn't even know she was pregnant. Oh no, it's all gravy, my boy. It's all good. As long as you're gonna pay child support, it's all gravy. Yeah. Really? Mom jokes, my guy? How old are we? Like 10, 11 years old, bro? Gotta come with the mom jokes? My guy, we're not little kids here. That kind of stuff doesn't bother us. I'm not 9 or 10 years old. Maybe if I was 9 and 10, those kind of jokes would have upset me or something like that, right? But bro, I'm not a child. Trump be wildin'. Yes, he is. Yes, he does. I like how he created the Trump Gold Visa card, right? That in itself, that in itself speaks the volume of grandiose narcissism we're talking about here. Like, bro, really? It couldn't just be the Gold Visa card, huh? Or just, but it had to be the Trump Gold Visa. Has gotta have something of you, Trump, huh? Because everything always gotta be about you, my guy. Like, no, it's not acceptable. It's gotta be called the Trump Gold Visa card. Of course it does. You want your face on there too, huh? If it wouldn't be too much. Because I'm telling you, bro, that right there already, that kind of shit right there speaks volume to his character, bro. Like, yes, gotta be about you, huh, my boys? Just got to. You know, you just can't have it no other way. Now make sure that it's the Trump Gold Visa card. Make sure. Yes, it'll have your name. Don't trip, my boy. We got you. Like, yes, you guys are all right. He's not a narcissist. No, clearly he's not. Now I see what you. Yeah. People are tripping though. The ones that call him narcissists, they're tripping. They're just haters. Like, bro, do you not see what's happening here? The delusion that people live in is crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch break is over. We got to get back to it. It was good chopping it up with you guys, and we out.